Our hatchery. We can say that it gave life to the municipality of Salento. When we began to produce trout, people began to go to the trout hatchery to consume. We began to offer them. This gave development to the region, gave it a boost, and in fact today is the line where the municipality of Salento is supported, which is with the sale of trout. Colombia, thanks to God, the consumption of trout has increased, but I would dare to say that at least for us in Salento, which is a tourist site that lives from tourism during the vacation season, mid-year, end of the year, the holiday season, which always starts in January, is where production shoots up much more. We are located at an altitude above sea level that is suitable for producing trout. The right conditions were found to produce this species of fish, in this region. More or less 35 years ago, we saw the possibility of starting to build this hatchery. Perhaps one of the hatcheries that began to be built when the trout technology arrived, taking advantage of the quality of the water, the quantity, and all the conditions that are favorable for the production of this species. The production process in cockerel trout begins with the purchase of fry. Imported fry is a seed that comes from the United States. We buy the fry that comes more or less from 10 to 15 grams of live weight. We begin to fatten it, so that more or less at 10 months it is ready for slaughter. That is to say that it has reached the average weight for slaughter, which is 500 grams. We always keep a certain amount in the tanks, which is already calculated depending on the replacements we have in each tank. For each tank there is a calculation that varies according to the season or the availability of water. A tank always has the animals counted. One by one there is space to start separating them, because we always have to be separating the heads, and the medium ones, from the small ones. Because if you leave a tank together, with mixed trout heads, the big ones are going to be bigger and the small ones are going to be smaller. We are always constantly separating the big ones, or the heavier ones in some tanks and the medium and the small ones in others. This is a success. This has to be one of the fundamental parts of always having trout available for the market, because we always have to be separating and moving so much per tank. The employees are uniformed or equipped with a uniform that allows us to enter the water. The water level of each tank is lowered. The employee enters the water and manually selects trout by trout. For trout farming, the fundamental line or the fundamental requirement is water of excellent quality. Trout are related to salmon and therefore need water that is current, that has a lot of speed, because they are always swimming against the current. They are very demanding in terms of water quality and physical chemical parameters of the water, in quantity and quality of water, especially in terms of oxygenation. They are very demanding. They need good levels of oxygen in order to be able to develop. Before the environmental entity, we process a permit. They give us a water concession, which prior studies of them allocate. What is the amount that we can take? Therefore we have the Quindio River. 200 meters above the construction of the hatchery there is an intake. The intake, what it does is that it diverts the water and directs it and leads it to the ponds. The water passes through the different ponds, both for breeding and fattening, and at the end we make it go through a sedimentation system, a cleaning system, where we try to return the water to the river in the same conditions in which we took it. We also have a sludge filter, where what we do is that we pass all the water that is passing through the trench, we collect all this sludge, all these fertilizers, and we convert them precisely into an organic fertilizer that is very useful for agriculture. The slaughter process begins with a previous selection made by the employees of the trout ponds. They lower the level of the tanks and select the trout that are suitable or have reached the ideal weight to be slaughtered. This is done the day before. They leave them in a floating cage. At 6 o'clock in the morning, the employees of the slaughter room are ready to begin the process of slaughtering the trout. That trout is taken to the room. It enters a part that we call the less clean area. There the trout is opened. The viscera are removed and washed. There we are in the less clean part. And then we pass it to the cleaner part, which is where it is despined. The spine is removed or extracted. And then it is weighed, selected and packed in a cellar. The whole process takes ice. We always have to maintain a temperature of more or less 5 to 6 degrees Celsius inside the slaughter room. After it is packed, it goes directly to the cold room. There it always maintains a temperature of -9 to -11 degrees Celsius and is stored, of course, when we are going to send trout. Our main marketing is done in the city of Armenia. When we are going to take trout, we always take a car with refrigeration, until it arrives at the point of delivery. Our maximum storage period can be 6 months. It is a product that is vacuum packed, the shelf life is high. The viscera that come out of the slaughtering process are treated daily with a chemical. This chemical is of a natural nature. The proteins are produced by the whole process, and these tenuras are converted back into food for adult trout. So with this we are avoiding contamination, avoiding burying lists, and contributing to the environment. For us it is a blessing, that this is a site that is so touristy. So visited, so beautiful with so much biodiversity. So we take advantage and manage our production in order to keep our customers always assorted. And we also have a part of tourism. People come enter the trout farm. They can fish trout to take away. They are in direct contact with fish of all sizes. We also have a lodge. A hostel where foreign tourists come and stay. They are very well equipped. We also have a small cabin and 2 rooms for people to come and enjoy this wonder. In Quindio and here in the municipality of Salento they prepare the trout in different ways. I would dare to say that it is one of the best preparations in the whole country. The success of the preparations of the trout of Quindio is much steamed, with different creams, with mushrooms. But it can be prepared fried. It can be prepared roasted or smoked. In many presentations the trout is a species that has no bones. It is a trout that is very nutritious. It is rich in fatty acids. Omega-3 which are scarce in nature. We cannot synthesize them ourselves, but what we have to consume from a fish and fruits rich in fatty acids. It is very nutritious. It has many nutrients, so it is an ideal complement for a healthy diet. Sure. I eat trout once a week. Can I eat it from the water to the pan?